are lots of things all around us, exciting things that surround us.
But how does it work?
Do you know?
How is it made?
Do you know? Things that go up, things that go down, things that go pop, things that go round, with special cameras to show you inside. It's going to be a big surprise.
But how does it work?
Do you know?
How is it made?
Do you know? Do you know?
Let's find out!
Hello, I'm Maddie, and today I've come to a very busy, very noisy place. Can you guess where I am? I'm at an airport. Have you ever been to an airport? There are lots of aeroplanes with people inside who might be going on holiday or to visit friends and family all over the world. Should we give them a wave? Hello! Aeroplanes take off on a big long runway, like that one over there. It gets faster and faster, and then it takes off high into the sky. But how does an aeroplane take off and land? How does it work? Let's find out. How does it work?
Aeroplane!
Today, I've got special permission to visit an aeroplane hangar and look inside a plane.
It's a bit like a car park for aeroplanes. And that one is absolutely huge. The area where the passengers sit is called the cabin, and the place where the pilots sit is over there. Come on, let's go take a look. Wow! This is the cockpit, and all of these buttons, dials and lights, they're the instruments that help the pilot to fly the plane. There are so many of them, aren't there? This is so exciting. I'm sat in the captain's seat. These levers here are called the thrust levers, and they make the plane go faster or slower. And this here is called the side stick. This turns the plane left or right, up or down. And if the pilot needs to move the plane when it's on the ground or stop it, they'll use these foot pedals down here. It all looks really complicated, doesn't it? To find out how an aeroplane takes off and lands, I think we need a closer look.
When the aeroplane is ready to take off, the pilot pushes the thrust levers forward, making the engines speed up. The aeroplane travels faster and faster along the runway. The wings have a special curved shape called an aerofoil. The air that flows over the top of the wing moves faster than the air which moves underneath the wing. And this creates a force called lift. The lift helps the aeroplane up and off the ground. To land the aeroplane, the pilot pushes the side stick forward, which tilts the elevator on the back of the aeroplane down. This makes the nose of the plane point downwards. The pilot moves the thrust levers back. This slows down the engines. Flaps on the wings are then flicked up to slow down the air that's flowing over the wings. The wheels are put into position, and when the plane lands on the runway, the pilot presses the brakes and the plane comes to a stop.
This is where pilots come to practice flying aeroplanes. But can you see any aeroplanes? Pilots learn to fly in these pods called flight simulators.
They look just like the cockpits on real planes, but these ones are just for practice.
Now this is the really fun part. I get to join Bridget, a pilot, and watch her practice at takeoff and landing.
The windows are actually video screens to show us what flying a plane would look like in real life.
Okay, Bridget, we're ready for takeoff. The first thing Bridget does is push the thrust levers forward, and that powers the engines, which make the plane move forward and get faster and faster. Here we go. You can hear the engines. We're getting faster and faster, and when the time is right, Bridget pulls back on the side stick, and that lifts the nose of the plane into the air. And here we go. We're taking off into the air. It feels like we're actually flying. I'm wearing my special head camera so you can see what the pilot sees when they're landing a plane. Wow, we are so high up. When the plane is in the sky, Bridget uses the side stick to turn the plane to the left or to the right, up or down. But right now, we're getting ready to land. Here we go. Bridget gently pushes the side stick forward to make the elevator at the back of the plane tilt down, which makes the nose of the plane dip down. The houses on the ground are getting bigger and bigger, which means the plane is getting lower and lower to the ground. Ooh, we're getting closer. Now, Bridget is pulling the thrust lever backwards, and that will slow the power to the engines, which slows the plane down. And then Bridget uses the foot pedals that will brake and slow down the plane on the ground. And we've landed. That was brilliant. I loved seeing how an aeroplane takes off and lands. What was your favourite bit about finding out how an aeroplane works?
Do you remember what the lever was called that steers the aeroplane? That's right, it's called a side stick. Did you hear the sound in the simulator when the engine started to speed up? And did you see all those buttons and levers in the aeroplane cockpit?
Aeroplanes are really good at moving us between places that are far apart. But when we only need to go short distances, we can walk, or sometimes we might run. Do you know what we have to wear when we go on a walk or a run outdoors? That's right, we need to wear something on our feet, like a pair of trainers. I love wearing trainers because they're comfortable to wear and they come in lots of bright colours. But do you know how trainers are made? Let's find out.
How is it made?
Trainers.
Trainers are made in a place like this, a trainer factory.
Trainers can be made from lots of different materials, like this shiny cloth called nylon, and this rougher material that's made out of cotton called canvas. And trainers come in lots of different colours. What colour trainers shall we make today? I like orange and red.
First, the material is taken to the cutter press, where it can be cut to the right shapes.
So Jen uses these cutters. They work just like cookie cutters.
They're laid down in the correct spot and then pushed down by the head press to cut the shapes we need. Look how many shapes there are.
Doesn't look much like a pair of trainers, does it? I think this looks more like a beard, and this looks like a moustache. But that's because they all need to be sewn together. Linda uses a sewing machine to sew together the parts of the shoe that make the shoe upper. That's the bit that goes over the top of your foot. Linda's using this blue machine called an eyeliter. It makes holes in the shoe uppers for the laces. Works just like a hole punch, only much quicker.
It's noisy, isn't it? Look, here are the holes for the laces.
So next, the laces are threaded through the holes so they'll fit nice and tight.
I'm going to have a practice at tying these laces. You want to practice with me. First of all, you make a knot, and then you use one lace to make a loop, take the other and loop it round, tuck it through the hole and pull. Like that. Now it's time to give the trainers their correct shape.
First, they're put into a machine called the back part moulder.
Can you guess what part of the trainer it shapes? That's right, it's the back part of the trainer where your heel goes.
Next, they're put onto wooden moulds called lasts. They look just like real feet and will give the trainers the correct shape. Stefan fits the trainers onto the lasts, then puts them through 3 machines. One to shape the toe end, the next to shape the sides. And finally through the seat and side laster, which stretches and attaches the material onto the inner sole underneath.
That was amazing! But it was quite tricky to see from here, so I'm going to use my special camera on a long pole so we can see what it looks like from above. What an incredible machine! It looks like a robot insect with its pincers and claws folding the shoe together.
All the rough bits of the shoe are then sanded off to make it nice and smooth. The underneath of the trainer is coated in a strong glue, which is then put through a heater to make it even stickier.
The trainers are nearly ready, but to make sure they're comfortable to walk and run in, we have to stick the soles on.
The soles are then pressed into place in this machine.
And there we have a finished pair of bright, colourful trainers. All that's left to do is try them on.
They fit perfectly.
It was really fun seeing how trainers were made. What was your favourite part?
Do you remember the name of the wooden moulds that help to shape the trainers? That's right, they're called lasts. Did you hear the sound that Eyeletta made to make the lace holes?
Noisy, isn't it?
Did you see all the different shapes that were cut out by the cutter press?
So, the next time you put on a pair of trainers, you'll know how they're made. And when you see an aeroplane in the sky, you'll know how it takes off and how it's going to land again. Right, I think it's time to get running in these trainers. See you next time.
There are lots of